Welcome to the Little Big Bro podcast. I'm the little bro, Leo.
And I'm the big bro, Hector.
And yeah, welcome to the podcast today. Today we're going to share some of our experiences that we have experienced in this wonderful world. And we hope you can enjoy our conversations and chat about them in the comments and let us know any topics that you like and you would like to share with us. But anyways, yeah, on today's episode,
and it's our first episode.
Yeah, our first episode, or just like our chit chats. For today's episode, I'm gonna talk about my FOMO of the past weekend's Pokemon World Championships that happened in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm a little sad that I didn't go, but it's okay. And Hector, what are you gonna talk about today?
And I will be talking briefly about some of the animal shelters and some of the overcrowding of the shelters has happened ever since 2023, when people, once we got back to somewhat normal after the pandemic. There's a lot of people turned in their animals and a lot of stuff happened with the shelters.
For sure. Nice. And then the last topic, which is going to be a little joint topic that relates to the both of us, is about our start of our own fitness journeys that we are doing. So
yep, getting fitty in our 40s. Exactly. Or well, Leo's not 40 yet, but yeah, he's exactly right around there.
I'm halfway there pretty much. Anyway, let's catch up, Hector. What's new in your life? How's today? We're recording it on a Tuesday, so the week has just started.
Let me tell you, the week. You know what? The days don't seem long enough, but they go by so fast. It's like there's not enough time, and yeah. It's weird. Like as you get older, it's just like the days just go by so fast, and you run out of time to do. And I don't know if it's just like the days getting shorter, or it's just you're a lot more busier and aware of stuff as you get older. Because when you're younger, it seems like the days were long as hell.
Yeah.
You'd be bored because you'd I'm just sitting here. I mean, back in our times when we were young, I mean, we didn't have cell phones, so we would just be, we would be outside for the most part.
Yeah, passing the time. And outside, and the only time you're gonna have to come in is when the street lights turned on, and you're like, oh, okay, well, it's getting dark outside. I guess it's time to go.
Exactly. Yeah. And now it's just like I don't have enough time. You have work, and then you got kids, and then we have our fur babies. I was like, oh, I gotta get that at this time now. I gotta go walk the dogs. And then now that it's here in California, or this part of the world, we still do the daylight savings time. So now it's getting darker sooner. Yeah. So it's like now I got to take everybody out. If not, I have to put the little glow collars on the dogs.
Yep. Yeah, that's so true. Daylight savings is the worst. I keep hearing that they keep saying that they're gonna do away with it, which would be nice. So that way, at least during the winter, it doesn't get dark. It doesn't feel like it gets dark sooner. At least it's gonna be the same thing all the time.
I was sort of excited to hear that they're gonna do away with it, but at the same time, I've gotten so used to it.
Yeah,
and it's like now I'm expecting. Okay. Well, we're gonna lose an hour or lose an hour of sleep.
Yeah,
and then come around summertime, we're gonna gain an hour. So it's like I've gotten so used to it. So we've done it for so many years. So it's like I've gotten used to it. But I'm sure if they stop doing it all, we'll get used to it too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was nice little catch up. I was talking about little daylight savings time. A little bit of not having enough time. It's so true. I never have enough time. It's the more responsibilities you get, it just compounds and just feels like not enough hours in the day to do everything that you want.
Right. And it's funny. It's as you get older, it's you end up. I feel like you sleep less.
Yeah, right. That's so true.
Maybe that's why people that get older get start shrinking.
Right? Yeah. You're not
I'm
getting
just kidding.
sleep.
I'm sure there's a scientific reason, and that we get our bones and spines and everything we end up getting shorter as we get older.
Yeah.
But
I need to look it up. I'm assuming it's gravity. Gravity
yeah,
just sinks everybody a little bit. Well, thank you for catching up. Well, and if anybody's catching up and you have funny stories, just put them down like in the little comments. Let us know. Maybe we'll read them out loud in our next episode. Don't mind if you don't mind. If you don't care, you can just leave it on there. Just let us know. Well, with that catch up finished, let's go to our first topic. And the first topic for today, I'll do it. I'll do my little topic. So, you ready, Hector, to talk?
I'm ready. I'm ready to learn about it because to be honest, I have no clue about the Pokemon world that you're involved in.
Yeah. Okay. It's very interesting. So, like, right, my topic is about like feeling a little bit of like FOMO of basically, missing out on the World Championships that were held this year in Honolulu, Hawaii. So basically, to like do a little rundown of what the Pokemon World Championships are. So pretty much every year, Pokemon, the company, picks a city, and in that city, they bring everybody who competes in Pokemon. So like in the video game, you have your Pokemon that battle each other. So like that's for the video game, like the one on the Nintendo Switch, like game.
Okay, I was gonna ask. I was like, which video game? But Pokemon's only on Nintendo, right? So,
well, not necessarily. Well, yeah, technically, yeah. It's
or is it like online, like a computer, like
technically, yeah. Nintendo kind of owns the rights to Pokemon, but like they also have it on like our phones, like Pokemon Go. That's
right.
like on our phones. There's also another game called Pokemon Unite, which is just another like sport-ish kind of game that's also on the phone. And then they also have the trading cards. They're still being like syndicated. They're still creating new ones. And so yeah, so like every year Pokemon picks a city. So this year it was in Honolulu, Hawaii. And everybody, applies. And to be honest, they have regional tournaments around the world. So if you have to go there, you have to compete, you have to win those, and then you're able to go to the world one, which you gotta have to get some success. And there in that world,
this is so crazy.
Yeah,
it's so crazy because I remember this was because this sort of started with like your generation or like your age, because you're 34.
Yeah.
So this started with your because you were what, like 9 with the Pokemon cards came out. And I know Pokemon's been around for a long time, but like the cards and everything, the I remember it was really big because you were really into the collecting all the cards. And then but all these tournaments, is this like new, like within the last like 10 years?
Yeah, so right, so Pokemon started in 1996, right? So like it's still going pretty strong. Like they're about to hit in 2 years, they're about to hit their 30-year anniversary.
That's crazy.
So from what I've gathered, they've had these world tournaments, I want to say since 2007 or maybe a little bit before that, but like every year they pick a different city. Like in 2019 it was here in DC, and it sucked because I was living here in DC. So I blame the wife, because I was like, I wasn't that much into Pokemon Go at that moment. So like me in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm like, I probably was on a date with her that weekend and didn't even bother thinking of something happening at the convention center here. And I was like, no, like how did I miss that?
Well, good thing because you ended up going on a date with her and not being like, yeah, excuse me, we're have to gonna postpone our date because I need to go catch some Pokemon.
Exactly. I mean, like there's so many videos and about like some of the content creators that went to the worlds in Honolulu. They look like they had so much fun. I mean, apart from like competing, which you have to win regionals to actually compete at the worlds. It looks fun to just kind of spectate and see some of the games that are being played. And then also, like, of course, there's a bunch of like merch that you can buy that's specific to Honolulu, Hawaii, and the environment just looked fun. Like everybody was there, just like have fun, watch some like games being played, and just enjoy like everybody else who like loves Pokemon.
That's cool. That
Yeah.
sounds like fun. It's crazy though. It's crazy because okay, so our older generations, like our parents, this is not like a world that they would ever have expected to happen. Like like there's people that are they're I know you do it, and you're like I guess would be a semi-pro, right, or something,
I,
or
I,
a play. You're a player,
I'm a player. I'm definitely like still amateur-ish.
but
Like,
there's like but there's profession. I mean it's
yeah,
a job. It's
yeah,
like like our generation when if we would have mine, I guess, if I would have grown up and been like, hey dad, I want to play Pokemon, or I want to be a gamer,
yeah. Mm,
they would have been like, no, you need a real job. And now these, I mean, these type of jobs are just like it's created great opportunity for people to do what they love.
oh yeah, exactly, exactly. And it's fun. I mean, you want to compete, of course, and that's kind of like the fun part. That's fun part of it. But it's also fun watching, the other people compete and how emotionally invested they're into it. And when they win, just kind of be like how excited and happy they are that they won. And like some of these games are close, so you're kind of like at points on your feet of like, oh, like what's gonna happen. It's really cool. It's really cool. Like, and each game has its own different strategies on how to win. So like Pokemon Go has its own different like strategy on how to beat your opponent, and then like the trading cards also have their own little strategy, and even the video game, the main series one that's on the Nintendo Switch, has its own strategy, which is probably the more maybe the trading card and the one on the Switch, like the main series game, probably have the most crazier strategy. But it looks so cool. I'm definitely not missing out on the next one, which is next year in Anaheim.
Oh, perfect! You can come visit.
Oh,
At least
exactly. Oh
you'll
yeah.
have a place to stay.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely not gonna miss that out. It's literally convention center, and then one block up is Disneyland. So it's like,
Oh,
oh,
I'm
just
calling a Disneyland trip, even though Disneyland's so expensive now.
I
It's like
heard. Oh my god.
it's ridiculous. I mean, that this is probably a conversation for another podcast.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
the
Ooh,
prices are just the prices to these theme parks are just ridiculous. It's just
okay.
yeah.
We already got the topic for next week's episode. That's a great one. So but yeah, definitely not missing out next year, and definitely planning on going.
Nice. So I will be seeing you next year. I'll be seeing you, little bro.
No, of course. Well, what do you all think of Pokemon Go? What do you all think of like world champions, like Pokemon having a world champions kind of like electronic kind of game sport and cards, all that stuff? Like, what do you think about it? It's kind of nuts. Pokemon's still around. It's almost 30 years old. So yeah,
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. It allows us
yeah,
to, go back to our inner childhood and but you know what? It's like video games give you so much like hand-eye coordination
yeah, that's true.
that I don't think it's people realize that obviously you're being glued to the game, but playing video games is actually very very hard. if you don't have hand-eye coordination because you're looking at the screen and doing stuff.
That's true. It's funny, yeah. Like I know I play games, and um when you play a game, when like you play a game with a friend or like a significant other that doesn't play video games, and it's so funny how like in my head I'm just like I don't have to look at my controller as I'm looking at the screen. I already know where all the buttons are down here.
Uh-huh.
But looking at the other person that's playing, they're not used to that. So like you just see them going like that, and I'm like, oh, you're right. Like, yeah, they don't know where the buttons are, and they're not used to it. So it's like,
You're right.
Oh, great. That's great. Well, hope you all like my topic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got to say about Pokemon. It's fun.
All right.
All right, now let's go to Hector's topic.
So now we're gonna cover some of the like animal shelters. So the reason that we're bringing up this topic, and I know it could be a little bit like, sort of like bringing down to not as what's the word, not a good topic to talk about because
Animal shelters can be like a heavy topic.
Yeah, it's a heavy topic. There's like there's a lot of negative stuff that's happening, and it's unfortunate, but it's like there's like we love animals, I know my brother loves animals. My wife, we all have our animals, and it's just sometimes there's strays, and if we can take
they'll be
if we can
the pups.
See her. And if we can take them in, we can. I mean, we've taken in as much rescue as we can. We have 3 dogs, we have a chinchilla, we rescued a cockatiel, and then we got 2 more cockatiels for that cockatiel. And I even had some mice that I was trying to save. I didn't want to kill them, so I put them all in a tank with a little wheel, and I bought them some stuff, and then I took them out to like set them loose like in the field because they're field mice, but
okay, nice.
Far from the houses because I don't want them coming back. But so a lot of things started happening with these animal shelters, just overcrowding, and it's so unfortunate because it's like the environment for the animals is so horrible, and it's just like in 2023 there was a national database shelter statistics that the U.S. Populations grew by nearly 250,000 and that's ridiculous. I was like, that's insane.
Dang.
And like some of the stuff that's happening like at the shelters, like it, and because of the overpopulation of all these animals, like every 13 seconds an animal that can be adopted, dog or cat, is euthanized in the U.S. according to the Human Society of the United States.
Yeah.
And some of the biggest problem with all this overpopulation at the shelters is the cruelty methods, dirty conditions, the lack of vets, lack of the good quality food for them. Bad record keeping is I was looking at that, and it makes sense, and it's sort of surprising though because of the bad record keeping that animals are accidentally killed, that like puppies. I know I don't know I saw this in the news, but like puppies at some shelter were accidentally killed when it's a puppy. You shouldn't be killing a young healthy dog that could at least stay there for a while before it gets adopted.
And that's just
so it's bad, horrible.
Yeah, it's just bad paperwork. Like that sucks. That bad paperwork could cause that to happen.
Yeah, and it's human error, and it happens. But it's like there's like certain things that can be done to avoid all all this, and like some of the reasons they end up in shelters is because people move and they leave their dog, or people just give up their pets because they're they went back to work or they can't take care of them. So it seems like sometimes it's like lack of effort. I know there's a guy that drove past my house and asked me. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Do you want another dog?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no. I was like, I can't take another dog right now. And he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take my dog to the shelter. And I was like, why? And he just took off. He's like, I was like, why would you? He's like, we're getting ready to move, so we can't take him with us. I was like, why don't you just? Why
That's
can't you
not.
put that little extra effort to like find someone or
Yeah.
something or, you know? But on a positive note with all
Yeah.
this is like there are things that people have can do or that are I've started doing that helped these animals that are in shelters like they like to reduce overcrowding um they implement fostering programs, and
Yeah.
some shelters will actually like give you food and supplies for the dog so you can so you can basically foster it for the time being, for maybe for a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there,
Yeah.
and then you move them to a different foster. So it's just like, like I guess almost like fostering like, a kid.
Yeah.
you know but sometimes the fosters can keep them, because they're fostering them because they have other animals, so they're just like, blending them in with the, at the other animals for the time. And then
Yeah.
like there was this dog that my wife used to follow. Or I think she still looks into her. Her name is Wednesday, and that Wednesday was getting fostered like from, house to house to house for like months, and finally she got a a permanent home.
No.
And we were actually thinking, because she was in California, so there was
Yeah.
like we did have like a huge like ponder, like maybe we can take her in, but I don't know if I can handle another big dog right
Mm.
now. I mean, maybe a little bit, maybe because our big dog Willow, she's very high driven, so
Yeah.
she
Exactly.
requires a lot of energy. But
Okay, that's good. So that's
so
good. Like.
but like my old coworker, she used to foster dogs, like
Yeah.
and I don't know how she do it, because I get attached to animals, but she would foster I think she would foster seeing eye dogs, or
Oh,
in a
that's
way, so because they're working dogs, so she would get them when they're puppies,
yeah.
keep them for a few years, and help train them, and then
Okay.
then they would go off and take their exam to see if they pass to go to be able to help in the seeing eye community. And if they don't pass, then she'll look to place them in a home. So it looks like they take care of those dogs. And but I think fostering is a great way to be able to get these dogs out there, because you know I met a dog, actually this guy, I forgot what the type of, it was a little dog, it was like I think maybe a little Shih Tzu,
Yeah.
but it was a service, I guess, in a way, a service dog, because it was a dog that for people that were basically about to pass, like they were like on their last
No.
months. And so
Yeah.
the dog was a comfort dog, and the dog would go and spend the last few months with the person, so they would have, and I mean, they're so lovable animals that, like, and this dog was like, lived, the guy was like carrying it like a baby, and it was just like
Aw.
laying there. So it loves
No,
to be held,
that's so
so
cool. Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah. And I didn't even know that they did that, but I mean, I mean, the love of an animal is like literally unconditional.
Yeah.
You can get upset, and they ripped your shoe, ate your tortillas,
Mm,
but they don't know any better, and they're just like, or maybe they do, but then they're like, okay, well, I made a mistake, and then they just want your love.
that's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the love of an animal is just so like it is. It is. It's like unconditional.
Right? No, yeah, it is unconditional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys are looking for animals, I encourage, go to your local shelter, and check them out. Adopt a puppy, adopt an little oldie. You know, they're no matter what kind of dog it is, it's and I know little people. Let's get hold on. Let's pause right now.
That's fun. Speaking of,
speaking speaking of.
They
bring a
obviously
little bit of
agree,
bring a little bit of chaos into your life.
right? They obviously agree though.
Hold on. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
So, adopting is a great option, and so in fostering. But if you guys can adopt, go to your local shelter. Look at the dogs, cats. Any animal will be happy to have your love. And they'll be, they can do wonderful things. So, I mean, they're keep you young, keep you active. I know Willow, because she's a or Belgium sable shepherd. I know she keeps me active
Hmm.
for sure. And you know what? Her being a puppy, she's made our older dog, which he's a Pomeranian,
Hmm.
and he's active. He's been more active, you know.
No, that's
And
fun.
my little trio of posses, like we go
Right.
on walks every day, and I feel like if they weren't around, I mean, I don't think I'd go in and do my daily walk. I'd get preoccupied with other stuff. Which it's difficult. But this way, it's like set, and enjoying a walk is nice because I get time to reflect and just like go out
Hmm.
there and they do some crazy silly stuff all the time.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like going on walks with our pup. Like, there's always times just like her rolling on the grass and like doing like scooches on the like on her back, scratching the back. Like, it's just funny and just like, oh, how can you not like love what your dog is doing? It's so great. Yeah, like if you can't if you can't adopt, definitely look into fostering. Fostering, every pup needs like some love, even if they can't have the forever home yet. But fostering always helps.
Yeah, especially with the when they foster. I mean,
Yeah, and if, I'm sure you can
you know,
foster not just dogs, but you can do cats too.
yeah, they can do cats. I
Yeah,
mean, dogs, cats. I mean, taking a chinchilla like we did.
exactly. Yeah, I know. It's like it's so funny. So like the talking of animal shelters, it always makes me think of like animal farms. Like, are there any farms that just have? And I'm assuming they're shelters, and that way, like,
Yeah, so you know what? There are some places. I know there's a place in I believe my wife follows the guy that owns it, but I think there's a place in Arizona
mm-hmm.
or maybe not Arizona. I know there's a shelter. I think it's Arizona. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. But it's a big piece of land, and I know people. There's people that have been like dropping off the dogs, but like a shelter goes there and with buckets and buckets of food and water just to keep these dogs fed. And I guess the only thing that can probably turn this around if there's more funding to them
Yeah,
and more volunteers that would help. I know there used to be I've heard of high schools that the kids go and volunteer, like some of the
I've heard
I think it
that.
was a track team, but they go and volunteer and take all the dogs out for walks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard of
And
that. Huh. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
so get with your city, see how involved you can get, and I'm sure you can change a little puppy's life.
Exactly. See what your local community does with animal shelters, and yeah, can put a little like not just a smile on like a little dog's or a little cat's face, but they'll definitely put like a smile on yours too.
Oh yeah, they'll always bring a smile.
All right. So to see if I can segue, when you were talking about like going on your outdoor walks with the pups, Hector, that can be a little segue into our final topic of the day, which is our beginnings beginnings, yeah, beginnings of our fitness journeys.
Or not even the beginning, but like the
Rebegin,
revamping of our
revamp,
fitness journeys,
a
because
rebrand.
our rebrand.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'll put a picture of me, and then I'll put a picture of you right here in the middle. There you go. Of like, yeah, Hector used to have like 6-pack abs
I
that
used to way
he
back.
can't steal. And basically, and definitely in me, I lost what did I lose? Like 70, 80 pounds.
You lost like 80 pounds. Yeah, you lost a lot.
Yeah. So like going down to like from like 280 to like 190.
Yeah.
And in the span of like, I don't know, maybe 6 months, 6, 7 months probably. Um, and I kept it off for a while, but then of course like 2020 happened, and then just felt like sedentary, and of course age doesn't help. So like
Right.
packed a few pounds down here, down in the belly.
You know what? Stress has a big thing to do with it, and it's just like the routine. Like I used to, for me, it was all about routine. Like
Yeah.
we even got a little gym in the garage, but then it's just like, life stuff happens, and then that gym just basically got piled underneath a bunch of boxes and other stuff,
I remember that. Yeah.
and so like, but like I'm finally trying to get focused and finally trying to, I cleaned everything out. It took me some time, but like a couple weekends, I cleaned everything out.
Workout too.
Yeah, and then so because I have to have a clean area to work out, and to be honest, like I think a little extra motivation was like my daughter's been wanting to go to the gym, so it's like I'll go to the gym with her for like once a week with her, and so now it's like I've gone back into being like I think it's doing the daily walk has helped because I walk every single day. So it's not like I'm sitting down and I'm not being active at all, but at least I walk. But now I've been running on the treadmill and then doing back because my workouts back then were like very extreme. So it's like I have this moment where like I want to, once I'm doing a really good workout and all of a sudden I get this feeling, it's like not just a pre-workout feeling, but like this little feeling that I used to have, and I want to go extreme, but then my body can't go extreme because I'll fall.
Yeah, exactly. Or yeah,
Like
and the worst thing you want is to like pull something, snap something at this point, because then that'll derail you, like your fitness.
Right. Like, and you know what's funny, because now that you bring that up, so like I've started, and I used to not do this before because obviously we were younger. You didn't really think about it and didn't even think about needing it, but it's like stretching. I literally take at least 10-15 minutes of like stretching my hip flexors, my arms, my back, and before doing anything, or like I won't stretch hard. I'll warm up and then I'll go back to doing stretching again. So you actually take, now that I'm getting older, I take more time stretching, and it's actually helped.
Yeah.
It's like I feel more, I don't feel as stiff, even after a sore workout. It's like I don't feel like as stiff.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. So like I know, so like you and I had differences when in working out, like when we were younger. Like you would do a little more of like the weight training and stuff like that in the gyms, and me, I like, and you didn't like running as much back then. I don't know how much you still like running,
but I hated running.
I
like it now. I'm okay with it. Like I can run. Yeah. But like back then, like I hated it, and I hated running.
I love running. I still love running. So it's like that's my motivation. So like what I've started doing is, and of course, already talking about Pokemon. So I've incorporated a little bit of it into it still. Like, so like Pokemon Go, right? Just like objective of that is to like catch Pokemon outside and explore your world, with your phone. So like what I've been doing is there's this little catcher that like that you just connect it to your phone of the app, and it'll catch Pokemon as you walk. So you don't have to like open the app to do anything. So what I've been doing is just like I brought my camera with me too. So like I've recorded myself vlogging as I'm doing a run, as I'm like creating a little fun little story of my run as I'm catching and exploring and just like literally running around.
Oh, that's cool.
So I just did that today. So every Tuesday I make it this is my third week of doing it. So I make it a point to be like, oh, do Tuesday. This is my recording of my run. And I do a nice little run of like two. So far, I've done 2.5 miles every Tuesday.
Oh, that's good.
I've recorded myself doing it, and it's fun to like not just do like a little selfie of the recording, but like I place the camera over here, and then like I run back, and then I run past the camera. It's fun those being creative at the same time I'm running.
Nice.
So yeah, so that has been feeling like a little like not just a reset, but like that's my stamp on the week. And then from that, I continue to do other workouts that aren't just running because I can't, 30 being 34 years old, I can't run every single day. Like not yet. Like the legs can't
Right.
do it yet. So like
I've been trying to avoid running on concrete because I
yeah,
mean I don't think I mean we're not made to run on concrete,
yeah.
or
No.
concrete because concrete
I
is
just
not
I try to
natural.
run the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've been running on the treadmill, like I've been doing like 20 minutes along with because when we go for with the dogs for a walk, we go for at least an hour.
Yeah.
So we cover about a mile or so.
Nice.
And then like I'll do at least 20 minutes. I've been pretty good at doing 20 minutes like every day so far for the last like week or two. About week and a half. We've been doing at least 20 minutes every day on the treadmill or a little, cardio something for like at least 20 minutes for sure. Because I mean, me going back to my old workouts, it's just the time.
You gotta work.
I don't have it because
Not just
before I
work up to it too.
yeah, and before I used to like work out before work for like about an hour. I'd do weights, hour and a half in the morning, and then at nighttime I would go and do Muay Thai for like 2 hours, and that was basically 5 days a week that I would work out Muay Thai, and that was like 3 hours. That's 3 hours of my day. And then when I was running,
Yeah.
it was forced because I had to get ready for a fight. So, but when I would run, I would always at the treadmill. At the treadmill, I'd run like 20 minutes. I do 20 minutes of cardio and then 20 minutes of step climber, something like that.
Oof.
And then for running, like it used to be crazy. It was like Saturdays, I'd run Fridays it was 7 miles. Saturdays was 11 miles. Sunday was another 6 to 8 miles.
God.
And that was like every weekend for prepping to get ready for a fight. That's why I was in such great shape. And that was on top of my, that was Saturday. That's on top of my 2-hour weight gym, 2 hours at the gym plus the 2 hours at Muay Thai.
Like you might have hated running, but like that's crazy.
You know what? I hated it, but at the time when I was running that much, my body was just, it got used to it. So my body was just, it became second nature. So like breathing, it was just like, and I would, in my mind, I would play songs in my mind. I would skip like, especially if it was on the curb, I would be skipping the lines on this curb just to like not step on a line.
Yeah.
I would have fun running or like counting trees, blah blah blah, and so I would get in this, it would be like a mental zone that I would just keep on running because my body would be tired, but mentally I was still going,
Yeah.
But so for me to work up to that, it's like I don't have that body I did like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And so it's like, and my body's aged now. So it's like, I have to build it differently, cause and I look at like the older, like the older guys, like, Arnold, Stallone, Lou Ferrigno, like all those guys. And like, even
Tom Cruise, like he's in 60s and he stays in shape.
And like Jake Gyllenhaal is in fantastic shape. Wow. And I know part of it's like genetic, and like me genetically, we're not like ripped, but I know I can get there. And so it's just basically all it is getting into your routine and incorporating it, because it's just got to be part of my little workout. And now that I've incorporated, it's like I start feeling better. So now I'm eating a little healthier and watching more what I eat. And, and to be honest, it's like, it's 80%. Yeah. It's like at least 40% of, 40% is actually working out. The rest of the 60% is eating, or I don't know the exact ratio to it, but it's more important to watch what you eat than working out. Cause if you're eating really healthy and really good, a little bit of workout will go a long way, And if you're eating horrible and you're working out hard, you're gonna get like no results. You're just still gonna look the same. You'll have more energy. Your stamina will be increased, obviously, depending on what you're working out. But it's all in moderations. And now that we're older, it's like I can't spend 3 hours at the working out every single day.
Exactly. Yeah. Same.
So it's like and I don't want to. I want to work out, but I don't want to spend 3 hours working out like I used to. I'd rather spend time with my family, spend time with my animals, spend time watching some Netflix. But now you can actually watch Netflix and work out.
Yeah, that's nice. What's your last bit of advice for somebody who's just starting out on like the fitness journey, on like, or even restarting pretty much? What's one bit of advice you would give somebody?
One bit of advice is don't overdo yourself. To give yourself a realistic goal. I think Tyson did it great, because look at Tyson. Look how he is now. And Tyson hit that mark where Tyson was really overweight because he was just like, eating crap and partying and stuff like that. But he just did a little bit of cardio, like 10 minutes every single day. He got on the treadmill 10 minutes every single day. And then 10 minutes turned into 12 minutes. 12 minutes turned into 15 minutes. 15 turned into 20. And then 20 minutes turned into like 20 minutes and some hitting the bag. And then, 20 minutes and then riding a bike. And so little by little, you'll increase your body will tell you like, I want more, I want more, I want more. That's my advice. Just start off little, do daily walks. Sometimes on your walks, do a little jog, jog a block here and there, and then little by little, you're gonna want more, and your body's gonna feel better, and then you start pushing a little bit more. So it's like right now, it's like I've been pushing a little bit. It's like now I want more, and now sometimes on my walks, when I take Willow just by herself, we'll go on a little jog, and when Willow wants to run, she's a Malinois. When Willow wants to run, she will run. And I have the leash around my waist, so she's taking me with her.
Yep.
on my feet are dragging me, but I'm going with her.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. I like that bit of advice. I would second that. Just to like start. Don't worry about the numbers, whether it being like your weight, or like how fast you're running, or how much you're lifting, or anything like that. Don't worry about the numbers. Just start. It's all about like progression. So don't start small, and like you said, start with a 5-minute walk. Then go with a 10-minute walk, and your body will tell you like, oh, I can do 15, I can do 20 minutes, blah 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 blah. Oh, like I run for like 20 minutes. Oh, maybe next week, maybe I'll go 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. So yeah, I like that. Don't worry where you begin. Just like as long as you begin, pretty much.
Yep, that sounds good. Don't worry how you begin, as long as you start, and then you'll get to the finish line eventually. And don't worry about all, and don't listen to anybody else. You're doing what you can. Just make yourself proud. You're not making others proud. You're making yourself proud. And just do your best. Do you.
Exactly. Well, that was a great first episode. I hope you all like listen to us chat. Let us know what you think of my topic, or Hector's topic, or the joint topic. Like, yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about Pokemon. About some animal shelters, losing some weight.
Leave some comments and maybe some suggestions for episodes, and we'll probably we'll make them a topic.
Exactly. Yeah, we'd love to read any of comments like you guys put down there. But yeah, just let us know.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, we'll see you guys on next episode.
Bye.